before, but it's Full Forward Addicts Podcast.
And here we are for the fourth episode of the Wrestling Addicts. I'm Matt. This is Sal. How you doing today,
Come on,
everyone?
guys. What's up? I was telling Matt right when we got on, I said, we got a lot to talk about tonight.
There is definitely a lot to talk about. And it all happened around Memorial Day, and I hosted two barbecues, and I did not watch enough of Double or Nothing. It's just crazy. It was, listen, you were just saying.
I watched enough, I'll tell you that.
Oh, man. It was what? How long?
It was about 6 hours. Because I did coverage for the buy-in too. So that started at 7 o'clock, and the show itself probably went to 12:40 at least.
That's wild.
So I did a lot of coverage, and then the next night I did coverage for Raw, and that was 3 hours. So running on 15 hours of coverage.
That's a lot for a Sunday night. Even though Monday was the holiday, that's still a lot to really.
It was a lot. It was a long show. You know, it had its ups and downs, but we'll get to that. We'll get to AEW Double or Nothing, but I think we want to start off with the news around the whole wrestling world right now, and that's MJF.
So Saturday, I'm on Twitter. You know, I'm scrolling, I'm looking, I see, a bunch of the people that I follow, fans are, they're saying like MJF, like he pulled a no-show, he pulled a Sasha and a Naomi, and I was like, what? Then Meltzer was reporting stuff. A plane ticket was purchased. So I was like, what is happening? Like, it was just so confusing as to what was going on. No one really knew. And then, which we could probably touch more on Double or Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I read Goldberg was backstage at AEW.
I heard that, and I knew I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I mean, if MJF really decided to no-show and not have the Master Wardlow, maybe Tony makes an emergency phone call to Goldberg or somebody like that, but I didn't think that was happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to make a storyline out of it if it were to be the case, but
right,
it wasn't. He showed up, from what I heard. Did it open the show?
Oh, it opened the show, and he got monster heat. It was like he is so good at getting just genuine heat, and they were chanting, he showed up, and I lost it at that point. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be good. And he got squashed by Wardlow, but that was gonna be the outcome, I think, no matter what happened. If he didn't, MJF not showing up to a fan fest is messed up, because fans paid money to see him.
Yeah.
So, that part of it is shoot. He didn't show up, and fans paid money. Like, what are you doing? But, it led up to this promo last night on Dynamite, and I still can't get over it, honestly. It was unbelievable.
I wish we could play clips of it, but I know
know.
there's certain restrictions
Well,
with
right
YouTube.
now, a lot of people on Twitter are getting copyrighted just because of that video.
That's crazy.
Something tells me that Tony Khan and AEW do not want that video out there because they didn't even post it out. Well, they posted it on their Twitter last night, but then took it down. And now now a lot of things are happening. He got MJF's merchandise is off the website, his profile's off the website. So it's a work. They're working everybody. They're working the dirt sheets. So
they're doing a good job at it. They really are.
They're doing a good job. But everything MJF said last night was
real.
I mean,
that was a shoot.
It was real. It was a shoot. But it's working into a storyline, I guess. I guess. I don't know. No one really knows. Everybody's just saying, "Oh, it's a work. It's a work. It's a storyline."
Yeah.
It looks that way, but he was saying some heavy stuff last night that I don't know if Tony Khan would be okay with. Like, I mean, MJF literally called him a mark. I mean, that's pretty tough.
He called him a fucking mark.
Yeah,
they bleeped that out.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we got TJ play it, get dangerous. I will. Now you know what? Now I want you. Let me find it.
I don't know if you'll be able to find it because they scrubbed it right off the internet.
I will take this laptop to my TV and I will play it from my DVR because I always DVR. I DVR AEW all the time, with hopes of just trying to find time to watch it. And I don't even have time to watch WWE right now. So I do my best, but I made sure with the hype around what happened with MJF, I believe that he was going to walk out or maybe pull like an Ultimate Warrior, be like, I'm not going out there unless you pay me more. But then I saw him on AEW, and then they hyped up what he was going to say. It's 100% a work. It's a work. They would not. He went too far for them to cut the mic for it to not be.
Yeah, it's a work, but what he said is all true. I put it this way. If you remember when Paul Heyman in 2001 had a shoot promo on Vince.
Yeah.
It was basically the sports entertainment promo and all that stuff. Paul Heyman tells a story that, Vince had no idea what he was going to say. He just said, go out there and draw me money, talk to people in the building.
Oh,
and
wow.
Vince just stood there while Paul just reamed him. And it was unbelievable. But Vince didn't know. Vince didn't know what Paul was going to say. So I have a theory. Maybe Tony just said, yeah, go ahead, go out there, say whatever you want.
Almost like with Punk back, was it 2012, 2011 maybe?
11 or 12.
Yeah, but it was almost the same thing.
Yeah, you go look back at that and then look at this, and honestly, I have to say this was better.
I agree.
I think it is. I think this one's better.
MJF's, if you're going to compare pipe bombs, even though Punk's propelled him to the summer of Punk, I agree with you that this one is a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
It felt raw and real.
Oh, yeah.
So where even when you first heard Punk's, you're like, I'm sitting down, I'm like, holy shit. I'm like,
mm-hmm.
he's saying that the company's going to be better when Vince is dead. But then again, it might not because he's going to pass it on to his doofus son-in-law and his idiotic daughter. So it was like you felt, even, with the ass kissing, talking about Rock and everyone else who did it, you felt what Punk was saying was real.
Right.
But the problem was they didn't fully capitalize on that back then. Listen, the money in the bank match was great. The blowing of the kiss on the guardrail, and he walked out. But then, he came back to you quick. They had that tournament for Cena to win, and there were two. They did not pull off it. They didn't execute that pipe bomb the right way, my opinion. But I mean, MJF.
It was okay. So it was okay
you know,
for the moment, but like, where was it go? And then, that's how I feel about this one. Where do we go for, like, where does if MJF is staying in AEW, which looks like he is, where do they go? Like, are they going to make Tony an authority figure? Which I hope they don't. I really hope they don't go that route, because he is not fit to be an authority figure. He's horrible.
He's
I'm
not.
going to say it. He's horrible. He can't shoot a promo. His media scrum after Double or Nothing, he was a disaster. He was making no sense. He was just rambling.
I was ready for it. It's still real to me, damn it.
That's what I was waiting for. Like,
that's
I was
what I get
I
when
was
he
like,
does it.
I was like, what? Like, he doesn't. His promos make no sense. It was almost like he has like a panic attack in the ring.
Yeah, it's wow.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either, and I agree with you. I don't want him as an authority figure.
No.
Listen, Samoa Joe debuts. He's on the ramp, like, yay! Like,
you
knew he was there.
Can you imagine Vince McMahon doing that?
No.
Vince McMahon would have just like put his hand out and then say, "Hey, here he is." Like,
but that's what Vince does, though. Well, yeah, that's what he did with Bischoff. He announced Bischoff, which at the time was humongous, because there was maybe around a year after WCW they purchased it, and like bringing him back was like, wow, he legit tried to put you out of business. He challenged you to fights on WCW TV, and you never, you didn't do anything with it. So I agree. I don't, and when he was cutting the promo, MJF, little keywords like bullshit, saying shit, him taking off his gimmick scarf, which I think was perfect, because he took the scarf off to let you know that this isn't my character talking. This is me talking.
Well, actually, he says Maxwell talking or whatever.
Yeah, and even taking the scarf off, throwing it down, and it was great, because the crowd is chanting, "Shut the fuck up," as he started. And then I watched it live last night, and I thought it was fantastic. And I got excited.
I put it up there. Honestly, top 5. He might be the best one. I mean, you have to go back. Maybe I put Heyman in front of his, but I think I have MJF's jump over Punk at this point.
I would definitely say MJF's is better. I think it's my favorite, because it's listen, it got me talking. It has everyone talking about it. And, it's not like, when Punk did it, WWE needed it. I feel like this could be like a nice adrenaline boost for AEW, because I caught myself watching it, even like I was dozing off. I was trying to stay awake. The Rangers were on, it was pouring rain. I was just like, I'm like, let me see what happens, what they do. And I love, I even showed it. I played it for my wife, for a non-wrestling fan to watch it. I wanted to try to see like what she thought. And she's like, is he fired? Is this legit? Like, how can you? She's like, I wish I could say that to my boss. And I'm like, listen, me too.
That's the way you get away with it in wrestling.
Yeah, right. But it was great, because I was telling her, I'm like, they're all chanting, shut the fuck up to start. And then I'm like, just watch what happens.
Oh, they turned. And I when I was doing live coverage, I made note of that, and everybody was saying, yeah, that was like unbelievable how that happened. Like, he went from monster heat to, wow, this guy's like legit. Like, all right, we'll cheer for him. We respect him now. It's like,
they're like
crazy.
They're like, he's kind of onto something. Even when they were, listen, when he said, he only opens his pockets for ex-WWE guys. Is that the first time that they actually mentioned WWE by name.
No,
Punk's done it before, right? I feel like Punk's done it, or
somebody's done it. Somebody definitely has done it before. I think Tony himself may have done it. I don't remember.
this
No, they
made it
definitely
special.
somebody. Yeah, it was because everything he said was true. And
Spot on.
some of the things he said, the hardcore AEW fans don't want to admit. And that's the problem. That's the problem with wrestling right now. No one wants to admit like that the company that they cheer for has problems. When then there's somebody like me, like I like both sides. So I don't cheer for like either of them. I just like both sides, and they both have problems, and they both have good things. But
Yeah, I agree.
there's MJF kind of like he exposed a lot.
He did, and I hope that it goes somewhere positive, because I was thinking too.
So.
I'm like after Warlord, after this whole Triple H, Batista like storyline, it's like, where does MJF go from here? Like,
Yeah.
what is the next step for him? Because to me, Warlord should be on his path. I feel like eventually to the TNT title.
I hope so.
Slow with him. There's no need to, step on the gas and push it as hard.
I hated he just had that great, moment with MJF at Double or Nothing, and their crowd's super over for him. And on Dynamite last night, they had him face some jobber. And then Mark Sterling comes out with security, and it was just such a corny segment for a guy that's super over right now. Like, why? Like, just have him face someone more established. I hate that was the one part of last night that I hated. I didn't get it.
I feel like that should be their clear path.
Right.
Because he's the future. You have right now, you have Mox, you have Punk, you have Bryan Danielson. And I feel like these main guys, Jericho as well, is to get attention to AEW because they're established, because they're ex WWE guys. So by putting them, in an exposed type of role, to where they're always about them all the time, like, oh shit, Adam Cole's over there, oh Keith Lee's over there.
I don't know if people care about Adam Cole anymore,
which is a whole other thing. But I feel like I agree with you. No more corny shit. Just push this guy, make him your guy. He should be your guy. When you think of AEW, you shouldn't be thinking about, ex New Japan, Ring of Honor, or TNA WWE guys. Build your own talent. And you have that opportunity because you're taking on people that didn't really get a chance anywhere else. And you can make them your own.
The roster's way too bloated. Tony has gone. I just don't understand why he has to bring in. And, he just brought in John Morrison, and he hasn't won a match yet. For the last 2 weeks, they put him on TV with 2 matches, and he lost both of them. Did he just come in to put everybody over? Like, why are you giving him these spots? I don't understand it.
And listen, not a knock on Johnny Elite, but him, it doesn't do anything for people to beat him. I feel him jobbing out, I feel like doesn't do much. Like he beat, Miro beat him. I don't like what great return match for Miro.
He's back.
Bring in his hot ass wife, put them together. Not because WWE did it, because she's a smoke and they're really married. It's legit. Put them together and let's see what happens. Don't have her talk with a fake Russian accent. and
she lost that after a while. What happened to it? Did you forget how to speak Russian?
I think TikTok happened and she started, using social media more and just didn't really want to talk like with a fake, terrible Russian accent. And she was also in Pitch Perfect, I think.
Was she? I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I don't know how I found that out, but she's in Pitch Perfect. But I agree with you, not to get too off topic, is that, MJF, Warlord, I feel like these are guys that you could literally build the whole entire company around.
Or hand over to Vince McMahon.
I mean, maybe that part was true what he said, maybe he meant it. Would you like me better if I was an ex-WWE guy? So listen,
seems to
be
on
possible.
Tony's radar. I have a hot take. I'll just throw out this hot take. I think 2024 January 1st, MJF will be in WWE. It's just I mean, maybe not on that exact date, but weeks after his contract ends, or a month, maybe a few months.
So what you're saying is MJF is going to win the 2024 Royal Rumble. I don't think he'll win.
I don't know if they'll keep him off television that long after his contract ends. I think I can see him having a match at SummerSlam, maybe.
When does his contract end?
January 1st, 2024.
Throw him in the Rumble.
That's when his contract ends. When's the Rumble's in end of what?
January.
Yeah, then throw him. I didn't think about. You know what? That's right.
Who knows? But
Why
I agree.
not?
He will definitely. He would definitely be in WWE for sure. It's. If they were watching last night, see, and this is why I Tony's smart. If this was a work, but MJF is smarter. That promo,
MJF is very smart.
That promo put him on the map, and WWE already knew who he was, but now they're like, "Holy shit, this guy's good." This guy's good because just how he has the crowd in the palm of his hand, from chanting "Shut the fuck up" to cheering him, essentially. And what I saw on Twitter, which further, how you were saying, his merch is off, he's off the website. It's a work, but also, who knows? Maybe he went a little overboard with what he was saying.
Right now, no one knows. It's, people are just assuming it's a work, and, it is, but you don't know what happened. Maybe he did piss somebody off in the back after that, and Tony said, "You know what? Forget it. Leave." No one knows.
Did you see fan video of after after that ended with Punk coming out?
Yep.
And then
I don't know who. There was somebody else at the entranceway, and I couldn't make out who it was. I gotta go back and look, but yeah, I guess I think Punk is trying to take the role of Tony's guy. Just like the way Cena took Vince. Like if Cena was Vince's guy, now Punk is Tony's guy. But it wasn't on television. They televised that, so
it wasn't on TV.
Mixed signals.
From what I've heard, they did not mention it once on the broadcast after that.
No, yeah, and when I was doing coverage, I actually said that. I was like, they no-sold that. Like, they didn't say anything about it. But that could be in part of their plan. Could be all in part of the plan.
It's very interesting to see where this goes, and I honestly, I hope it doesn't. They don't fuck it up. I really do, because I'm not saying that they will. But I feel like in wrestling lately, when there's like really hot angles that like you want to get behind, they get messed up. So like, in WWE, the tag title unification, that's a mess. So, Roman is, thankfully that storyline is going well. Cody's going well. So there is, they do break the norm to where certain hot angles aren't buried by themselves. So really,
Right.
it's just listen. I'm going to tune in next week to find out. I'm not
No.
gonna. I mean, it's if they don't mention it at all, then it's like okay,
Right. Well,
what's happening?
they could be I mean, maybe next week they don't talk about it. They don't have MJF on. It could just be leading up to something bigger. But if it continues to happen month after month, then something's up. Unless he's taking time off, but I doubt it.
It's funny because he's 26. Like, what time does he need to take off? He's young. This is
Yeah.
listen. I don't think they would start this if he was taking time off because it's almost like this is hot and you got to keep
Right.
going. You need to keep, slam your foot on the gas, keep going, and let's see what happens. And hopefully they do that because I don't want to see something like this, fizzle out.
No,
My
me
opinion.
either. The only way they would ruin this if Tony's on screen. If Tony's on screen, then I'm just gonna. I'll see where it goes, but after a while, I'm just gonna all right, like I can't. I just can't watch him. I love AEW, but he's just not a good on screen character, and he's
He's
not. I
too
think
erratic.
he's too erratic is a good way to put it, and he's not Vince McMahon. He's not Mr. McMahon. You know what I mean? Like he will never recreate that character. So
Yeah,
he
it's never
yeah,
gonna happen again.
it'll never happen again. So he should just stay wherever he is and just stay backstage and produce the show.
Tony's promo skills are equal to Vince McMahon's wrestling skills. They're both
No,
terrible.
I wouldn't even say that. It's like his promo skills are like I don't even know who to compare it to. It's just it's almost like if you gave a fan a mic. If you gave somebody in the front row and said, "Hey, just shoot a promo," and that's what it would sound like.
You know what? I would love to do that. I would cut promos. I would be ready.
That's what it would sound like, and that goes off to what MJF said last night. He said, "You should be out there with them, with the fans."
Love that. Love
And
that
the
because it's true.
crowd
Sometimes it's
went
true.
silent for that one.
They're
Crowd went
like,
silent for that one. They were like, "Uh-oh," like he's talking about us.
yeah. It's
But we'll see where
funny.
it goes.
And it's interesting because clearly Sasha and Naomi walking out, was a shoot. They really did it. They were
Yeah,
fed up.
I don't know what's happening with that one.
So WWE released a press statement like that night. Like the fucking Rock walked out. Like, oh, the fans are so disappointed and not seeing.
Yep.
Listen, and the fact that I don't want to get too much into them again, but the fact that you're dropping the women's tag tournament is proof alone that they were right. But to compare the two, even though they're not the same, it's still funny how WWE made that mess bigger by releasing a statement on something that legit happened, to where with AEW, you're almost like, all right, I don't know what's happening. And they didn't talk about it afterwards, and they didn't release any sort of statement saying like, hey, we apologize for the actions, of MJF and what he said. It's, we're taking care of it. So to me, it's almost, I think it's better they didn't say anything because now it's like, holy shit. It's like, what is happening?
It's better that they didn't say anything about the promo, but the fan fest part is where that's the part where it's like, well, you should at least apologize to people that just spent money and like I think I don't know the exact number. I think it was like $250, like more to see
just
him.
for him. Just for him, it was.
I'm not sure, but it was like those people just lost some money because he didn't show up, and you're not going to say anything. Like I don't know.
I've been to WrestleMania Access twice. Once in New Orleans for 34, and then in Brooklyn. It was in Brooklyn for 35.
Yeah,
Their access was you pay to get in for that
Mm-hmm.
day. I don't think it was time, like a certain amount of time. You pay for that day, you get in there, and then if you wanted to see like some of the non-premium people, like
Mm-hmm.
you would wait online. I met Leo Rush, Alistair Black, Shinsuke, Natty, and this was all within the same line that you're waiting on. You move
Right.
to one, smile, take a picture, move on to the next one. But then they had like special premium ones for like Roman, The
I think
Miz,
that's what this one was. I think it was like a premium.
and I want to say that Ladarius agrees with you because he just commented and saying it was enough money to be pissed about, in my opinion. By the way, hey Phil, hey fellas,
What's up?
well, what's up, Ladarius? How's it going? And when I went to the Access, they had the premium ones where you pay $150, and it was VIP, and it was a lot of money,
Right.
kind of like what Ladarius is saying.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened was I think the Miz or someone backed out, or not backed out, but there was some sort of scheduling thing, and they replaced them with Kofi. And this was Monday.
Mm-hmm.
He just won the title the night before, so you had Kofi with the belt, VIP.
Right.
I want to say they had to have exchanged, with someone equal or maybe on a different level to MJF for that fan
I didn't
fest.
hear about it. And you know what? There was also, I think like a scheduling issue with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe was supposed to be there, and there was a scheduling issue and didn't show up. So seems like that whole event was kind of a mess.
So what was not a mess, from I believe what you were saying and the reaction on Twitter, was AEW Double or Nothing.
Right.
Now 6 hours was a long time. I was
Especially doing
entertaining.
coverage for it.
I had a 6 hour barbecue with the in-laws, so I don't know what was
There we
longer,
go.
Double or Nothing or the barbecue.
It
So
might have been Double or Nothing.
what did you think of it? I want to know what you thought of it, and my wife heard what I said, and she gave me a look. I want to know what you thought of AEW, and I also want to hear about any challenges that you come across when you're doing the live tweeting for Wrestling Inc. Because that's where you can be found, and I threw your handle up there for those who are watching. You could see the little banner at the bottom. For those who are only listening, Sal live tweets a lot of the main shows, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, as well as the pay-per-views. And that is over at Wrestling Inc. And that is Wrestling, WRESTLING, Inc., INC. And you could find them on Twitter. And Sal is a part of that team, and he keeps up with a lot of the live tweeting, which I find hard to do. Like I'll say at like 7:30 on a Monday night, I'm like, yes, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get excited for Raw. It's the complete opposite. I think maybe there's definitely no yes, let's go. It's more like, oh, it's almost 8:00. Let me charge my phone.
Right.
I for me, it's hard to stay so engaged doing that, and that's only 3 hours. You did 6 hours of AEW. So do you find yourself, as a fan, like watching it, or is it more like, oh, I gotta work and let me make sure that I don't miss anything?
I guess you could say it's a little bit of both. I watch it as a fan, but I also have to create engaging stuff on Twitter.
Yeah.
And follow along what's going on. When the promos are going on, you really have to pay attention, because the promos get the most, like the lines in the promos get the most engagements on Twitter. Like the MJF stuff on Wednesday night last night. Oh, it got so many engaged. It was going crazy with engagements just
That's
on
awesome.
certain parts of his promo that I quoted, and it went crazy last night. But for Double or Nothing, it's my biggest show that I've done for live coverage. So
That's cool.
at the 12 o'clock, actually maybe like at the 11:30 mark, I was kind of like, oh my God, can we speed can we speed this up? Even as a
Yeah,
fan, like, even if I wasn't working, I probably would have felt the same way, like, "All right, like, let's go, like, I wanna go to bed."
I feel that. That happens all the time. So what did you think of it? Like, I want to like give me
It
your
was
highs and your lows, because 6 hours is a lot to get into.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we have that much time to
No.
do that.
No,
So
it was a lot. It was there was highs and lows. There was, the Anarchy in the Arena match with Jericho and his group, and then Moxley and Danielson and Eddie Kingston and Santana Ortiz. It, it wasn't I wouldn't call it a match. It was like a brawl. It was an arena
okay,
brawl, but it was awesome. It was an awesome mess, I guess you can put it that way. It was like a car wreck. Um, so I enjoyed that, but it was a little hard to keep up with, especially when you're doing live coverage. You have to
yeah,
like, I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know what to do here. It's like crazy, but I think I even tweeted out at one point. I was like, okay, this is insane. I don't know what to do. I just tweeted that out. I was like, I don't know, but it was a mess, but every part of that mess was great. I loved it.
and who won
I
that match?
Jericho and his little appreciation society that he likes to call,
You
and
got that wrong.
they beat. Oh, you got that wrong.
Yeah, I think we picked.
Did I get that one wrong?
I think we picked the BCC, right?
Oh, I probably did. And you know
Yeah,
what?
we did.
And as that match ended, I was like, you know what? This is a horrible ending. They beat Danielson at the end, which I can't believe Jericho beat Danielson. I mean, Jericho is Jericho, but you shouldn't be beating Danielson at this point.
No, I don't think there's any reason for that.
No, and it was just stupid. And now they're having a blood and guts match later this month between the two groups. So they're going to continue this feud, but I liked it. I liked this little, I guess you can say, arena brawl, or whatever they called it, Anarchy in the Arena, but it was just a brawl. It kind of felt like ECW back in the day.
Oh, okay. I gotta.
Yeah, it was.
That's something I have to go back and watch then.
And then for me, some people disagree with me on this one, but Punk and Page, the main event, was probably the match of the night for me, at least. I felt like there were a few slip ups. Punk botched a few moves. He botched the buckshot lariat twice. I don't know why he went for it after he botched it the first time, but I think he
Old man
that was a
Punk.
mistake. Old man Punk. But that was a match of the night for me. In the moment of the night, having Punk win, I thank God that Page's reign is over. They need to do something else with him. Move him to the TNT title picture, or put him back in the tag team division. Do something different.
Where does he go from here? I mean, his reign was pretty. So it's like, what happens now?
I'd put him right in the TNT title picture at least, or maybe have Omega come back and put them back in the tag team or something like that. I would do that.
WWE should let go of Roddy Strong. Let him go.
He wants out.
And listen, honestly, I've tried to watch NXT and I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Let Roddy go, right? Put the Undisputed Era back together. Bring back Omega. Put Omega, Hangman, and the Bucks, and then you have another stable, 4-4, and maybe listen. I don't care that WWE did it. It fucking worked. Put the Undisputed Era back together. At least within that group, Cole looks like the leader, you know? And like it bothers me so much because I like Adam Cole a lot.
I like Adam Cole at this point. And by the way, I guess we can move on to that. He won the Owen Hart tournament. So him and his girlfriend Britt Baker won too. And I think I said last week this win would do a lot for him, but
we said it for both of them.
Yeah,
I think we picked Cole to win it because that's right. We were saying that he could use it because he's just floundering at this point in a way to where it's like, where does he go from here? He lost 2 or 3 AEW championship matches. He's losing to Orange Cassidy. You know, listen, dude, have a fucking protein shake, hit the gym, you know, put on some masks. And I hate saying this, but like, even if he just had like a Shawn Michaels like physique that he loves so much,
he looks good in NXT.
Fit it. He does. I think he stopped. I think he like stopped training or doing something. Maybe there's no performance center in Florida.
No, there's no performance center in AEW. They don't use a performance center in AEW. They just, have their guys fall on their heads.
Listen, maybe Tony Khan should, bring Cole and a few other guys to, the Jacksonville Jaguars training facility and be like, listen, guys.
It won't do them any good. The Jaguars stink.
Don't tell that to Rook. Duval!
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. He loves the Jaguars.
That's right. I hope Adam Cole goes somewhere now from here, but I don't know. Even after that win against Joe, I just felt like, this isn't the same Adam Cole I saw in NXT.
Yeah,
it's just not.
I agree with you. I think maybe that's why. Listen, when your girlfriend looks bigger than you, like jack-wise,
yeah, it's true.
That's a problem. And listen, I love Adam Cole. Problem. I go, whoa, Matt O'Day, baby. Like I do that. Like I'm a huge Adam Cole mark. I like Tony Khan for Samoa Joe, but it's just for me, it's presentation is key in wrestling. It always is.
Yeah.
When Triple H made all those changes to, NXT and even, just WWE in general with the Titantrons, the LED apron, right. It makes the presentation better and it keeps you involved in it. So I feel like great for Adam Cole for winning the Owen Hart Cup. But what is that going to do for his presentation? Is he going to walk around with a trophy and a Owen Hart championship belt? I don't know what they're going to do with it. Britt Baker did not need to win hers, so it's
no. But once Adam Cole won, once one of them won, you knew Britt Baker was going to win. Cole won and then Britt Baker won, and they had the matching gear on. It was just obvious. They made it obvious.
Yeah.
But the match that kind of upset me a bit, and parts of this was kind of hard to watch. The Young Bucks and the Hardys. And the beginning of this match was just sad. It felt like, I'm used to seeing the Hardys moving great and, being the Hardys. And it was just the beginning. It was like it was moving in slow motion.
I heard that.
Jeff just didn't look great. Then his boot came undone. His boot was like undone, and then it was undone for the rest of the match. And you can go fix it. Something was very off. Something's very off about the Hardys. I don't know what it is.
I saw that people on Twitter were like concerned. They're like, uh-oh, Victory Road again, or something. You had people saying, "Oh, I guess WWE was right," or whatever. So
yeah,
to me,
bad.
To me, from the little clips and stuff and the pictures that I saw, to me, it looked like that Jeff Hardy, to relieve some of that pain, should probably go to canadipcbd.com, our sponsor.
Segway.
Because not only is it not addictive, which would be perfect for Jeff Hardy, but it's new, it's innovative, it's non-messy, no tobacco. It's the OG CBD dip pouch. And if you take a look at the ticker on the bottom, if you're watching, go to the website, use the code BELLYUP20 and save 20% on all orders. Literally, you're not sure if you like it, order it once, use the code, you become a fan, get different flavors, use the code over and over and over again, and you save 20%. For those who are listening via all the fabulous ways to hear us, go to canadipscbd.com, and I will spell that for you. It's CANNADIPSCBD.com. Use the code BELLYUP20, and you will save 20% on your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all your orders. Jeff Hardy, if you are for whatever reason listening to this, or this comes across you, my bro, I hope you're okay. Take this CBD, stop doing the hard shit, and you'll be fine.
I mean, you know what? I love the Hardy Boys, but I think time is passing them up.
I love the Hardy Boys too. I've always been a Matt guy. Obviously, we share the same name. I know. And you know what?
I was never. Matt, to me, I was like, Matt just bores me. I don't know why he just bores me. It's Jeff that made that team, I thought.
Matt
the only
lady.
time Matt excited me during the Edge feud with Lita. That was the one time where I was like, wow, Matt, this is really good. But that was the only time where when he was a single, I was like, wow, this is really good. And then when he started doing the delete stuff, I liked him then too. But the Edge stuff was great.
I always liked Matt Hardy, version 1. Listen, he had Lita. Back then, during the Attitude Era, it was Trish and Lita. If you weren't with Trish, you had Lita. That is the best thing. So I was always a Matt guy, and I was huge into the Mattafacts. Obviously, Matt.
Yeah,
Mattitude. My friends were calling me Mattitude. Like, hey, Mattitude, version 1. I'm like, I like this. Keep doing it. For the longest time, I was even posting Mattafacts on Twitter, just like he would. And you know what, Matt Hardy? I don't like mustard either. So he was always my guy. Jeff, I like Jeff. I not like I didn't like Jeff. I've liked Matt a smudge better. Only because everybody was such a Jeff Hardy fan.
Right. Yeah. Well, I just hope the Hardys can figure it out.
I think maybe they're on the wrong side of the ropes at this point. You know, when Matt was Big Money Matt and he was, a manager, horrible. Right? But I feel like he shouldn't. It's past their. It's past their time.
They need to be put in the right match, and I don't think a match with the Young Bucks anymore is the right match.
Who would be in AEW right now for them? Because I mean, clearly they're a tag team. They're not going to go in the same
Jurassic
direction.
Express.
I was just thinking that.
Put them in the ring with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Have them do, easy stuff, easy work. The Young Bucks, you're not. It's a lot, a lot of flips, a lot of dives, a lot of kicks, super kicks. It's a lot.
Super kick party. But do you think maybe that is Tony Khan's issue? Is that
well, Tony Khan has a lot of issues.
I feel like Tony Khan just like wakes up one day, he looks at his toys that he has around and he goes, I remember the Hardy Boys. I'm going to go sign Jeff. But like, you're
That's
not
very good.
getting, you're not getting Jeff Hardy from. Also, if you're interested in this, these will be selling on Whatnot. You could find me at Wrestling Addicts. We will be hosting. Yeah, it's Batista. It's I don't know why the camera's so like not nice to the animal, but it's Batista. It's the Ultimate Edition Target exclusive. We'll be selling on Whatnot, which you can find me over at Wrestling Addicts if I don't knock everything down. And I'm going to be doing a cool live mystery show. So tune into that. But another segue. I feel like that's the main problem with AEW is that Tony he is a fan. He's a mark.
That's what he is.
I'm a fucking mark. Whatever. It's even though
I'm a working mark.
I was telling my wife that mark is like one of the most disrespectful things you could say to a wrestling fan. I feel like, oh, you fucking mark.
I don't know why people care so much. I don't get that.
I feel like certain people have different definitions of what a mark means. Like it's you don't know, it's not real, right? You mark,
right?
And it's like, listen, I know it's not real, but I'm still invested in it. I still care about it. I understand the lines don't blur me, but this MJF, that's what it's doing. It's blurring the lines, and that's what Tony should focus on. Focus on young guys who could move and do it in the ring, and people like guys like the Hardys. Not so much. Maybe it's not
bringing
time.
Name value. That's all they're doing is bringing name value anymore.
But you have everyone else for that. You have Bryan Danielson. You have Regal, Moxley, Jericho. You have Miro. You have other people that know who these are that can get your attention out there. But so you were saying that the Hardy Boys match was not your favorite and that disappointed you. For those who missed the show, what matches would you say we should go back and see?
Go watch Anarchy in the Arena. Go watch Punk and Page. And you know what? Go watch. And this was a surprise. Actually, it wasn't so surprising. Go watch Death Triangle and House of Black. I thought that was really good.
Who won that one?
Match. House of Black.
Yes.
Yeah. And
that was our one difference.
And you got it. But that was, if you're going to watch a match, go watch that one.
Okay.
Punk, Page, and Anarchy in the Arena.
Alrighty. What else? Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on from AEW? Good, bad, an outcome that you were surprised about?
Not really. I mean, the Serena Deeb Thunder Rosa Women's Championship kind of surprised me a bit. It was pretty good, but I wouldn't go rewatch it. But
okay,
it was a good match, but I wouldn't sit down rewatch it. And Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin was an okay match, but there was no story, no nothing. It was just like put in there. They were just like, okay, we need a match. Let's have Kyle and Darby go have a match.
They didn't need a match from what I heard.
That could have saved
someone
me
was saying that it could have been on Dynamite.
That was a
20-minute match. Wow.
Oh, that had to be a 20-minute match at least. 15, 20 minutes.
That's crazy.
It could have saved me some typing, but that's all right.
All right. What grade would you give it?
Out of 10, I'd probably give it a 7.
Okay.
I'll give it a 7.
Hopefully that doesn't upset anybody.
The booking of it and leading up to it was sort of just non-existent, I guess you can say, other than the MJF Wardlow match, which obviously had a lot of build around it, and sort of the Punk and Page that had some build to it too as well. But the rest of these were just thrown together, or they had like a build up for 2 weeks. Like what, this is a big pay-per-view and you only have a build-up for 2 weeks. Some of these matches, I don't know. Some of these matches were just cold matches to me.
Yeah. Was it like WrestleMania Backlash to where like there was no really build and the matches kind of felt thrown together and it was like a banger?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. No. I think WrestleMania Backlash surprised people because every match was, I mean, great. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
But this one, I wouldn't say no.
Okay.
No. It was just up and down the whole night to me, for me at least. I don't know about everybody else, but it wasn't one of their better ones. It definitely wasn't.
And the next pay-per-view is what, Forbidden Door?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
Forbidden Door. It
All
should
right.
be.
Well, hopefully it's not 6 hours, and it seems they started to.
I won't hold my breath on that one.
I hope not.
If it's not 6 hours, it'll be 5 hours.
There we go. Yankees just took the lead.
I don't see. I don't. My phone doesn't give me any updates. I'm sick of it. Okay.
JMO had a perfect game going into the 8th.
I was watching the game before we got on, and
I
he
was too.
shoving.
And then I checked the time. I was like, shit. Rizzo just singled the center, scored 2, so they're winning 2-0. I don't know.
I'm glad my phone's working.
I don't know what inning it is or whatever, but what I do. Oh, bottom of the 8th, 2-1. I want to talk about one thing from Monday night, unless there was anything
I know
else you want to
exactly.
touch more on with.
I know we can move right on, and I know exactly what you're going to talk about because it was the best thing on Raw.
God, you bring it up.
Well, it was Cody and Seth. Cody, was it? Was that the one you're talking about? Okay.
That's the only thing. I went to sleep after that.
I think a lot of other people did too. Especially when the ratings came out.
Yeah, I was on a tape delay. I was watching it a little later. I think the Rangers might have been on, or I was doing something. I think the Rangers were playing, and
I think they were.
I watched that, and my buddy's texting me, and he goes, "Dude," he goes, "Go back, watch Rollins and Cody." He goes, "I'm not going to tell you anything but one line." And that one line that he told me didn't even ruin anything. I was like, all right. I'm like, if he's fucking telling me to watch it, let me go watch it. So I go back in the house. I go watch it, and they've never said so much by saying so little.
It was awesome.
Like MJF for that little pop, he dropped WWE's name.
Mm.
And it worked with how he did it because it was factual 1,000%. The last 15 to 20 people Tony Khan brought in were released by WWE. And listen, I'm not that type of pro. He's a WWE guy. Everyone has jobs. Listen, if I worked at McDonald's and went to Wendy's, am I a McDonald's guy or am I someone who just needs a job?
Right.
So like to me, that shit is stupid because it's even like with Aleister Black, he left WWE. People were upset of how he was treated in WWE. But then when he goes to AEW, they're like, oh, you just signed a WWE guy. Like, wouldn't you want your guy to like succeed and do good? So by Rollins saying everything he said and did not mention those 3 AEW letters, I think was perfect. Because he didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have to say his name.
There's a way you can have your audience figure it out themselves. Whereas AEW kind of just comes out and tells you.
Yeah.
WWE does it differently. They shoot their shot differently over at AEW.
They're more tongue-in-cheek, I feel, WWE, to where it's like,
definitely.
You know what we're saying, but we're not actually going to say it.
Oh, definitely. But the Rollins Cody thing. I cannot wait for this Sunday. Hell in a Cell match should be awesome. That's the segment on Raw with them was just the pull apart was great. The promos were great. Cody running into the crowd after Rollins was perfect.
Did you catch what Rollins did, which is why Cody jumped the barricade? I caught it. I think like the second
No, I
time.
don't.
Rollins did the Stardust kiss.
Oh yeah. I saw
Yeah,
that.
so then
I
he
saw
did that. I was like, yo, I'm like, I watched Broken Skull session. I know he hates that shit. So the fact that they, that he said that and you got that reaction, but everything, literally everything Rollins said from top to bottom, you can't take a throne to you can't take a sledgehammer to my throne and then expect to come back and like sit in it. Like everything Cody did, in AEW to take shots at WWE, Rollins threw like right back in his face. You and your friends try to put us out of business. It's like, it's like this is what should have been the story from the start. Because not only is Rollins a Dusty guy, he's a Triple H guy too.
Right.
So
that's why it's unfortunate that Triple H can't wrestle anymore. Because you could after the Rollins thing ends on Sunday, and I assume Cody's gonna win. We'll see what happens. But after you could have had him come out and then a stare down and then build that match up to SummerSlam. Oh man, I'm so mad that it's not gonna happen, but it's all right.
The timing, while perfect to get Cody in for WrestleMania, it's unfortunate that Trips is not healthy enough to compete in the ring.
Yeah,
but also,
somebody said on Twitter, they said, well, Ric Flair's having a match, so why can't they?
Just because Ric Flair is having a match doesn't mean he should.
Does not
mean he should. Ric Flair should not be in a ring at all. So you definitely can't compare the two. But it would have been great for Triple H to definitely, I don't know who's still around from NXT. Maybe Owens, but Owens doesn't need it. I feel like Triple H can come back in a non physical role and be like, listen, Cody, just because I can't get in the ring doesn't mean I can't get my payback for all the shit that you did.
He could come back. He could come back as a heel authority figure if he wanted to. The only thing is, I don't know if he, at this point in his career, he can get the fans to boo him because he's so beloved, and he can't wrestle anymore. And I don't know if the fans would boo him, but you could bring him back as a heel authority figure at some point and feud with Cody or whatever.
They'll never boo him again.
No, I don't think they will.
What he went through, what he went through physically, health-wise, and as he's recovering, you have Nick Khan, Vince, and Bruce demolishing everything he put his heart into.
He's back full time backstage. I don't know what he's doing, but I don't know what role
he's back. He's back, but like they still destroyed NXT. The original NXT. It's
tell me about it. Getting to that show and doing coverage for that show, that's a challenge. That is hard. That's when I gotta I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do right now?
That's when you need some shocked energy drink, which is also another sponsor, but they are the sponsor for. They usually do WWE trivia, but I don't think we even have a promo code right now. That might be in the works. So I'm just going to remove that and jump back to Raw real quick with Hell in a Cell.
Well, I have the card here. You want to run through it and then do predictions?
There we go. Let me get my handy dandy notepad.
All right. Let's see here. All right, I'll start at the bottom. Here we have We have Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and Liv Morgan versus Judgment Day, Edge, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest. Looking forward to this one. I think it'll be a really good match. I'm just hoping we see another addition to Judgment Day.
I think we do, which is why I'm picking them to win the match.
Yeah, me too.
What are you going to say?
I was just going to say Balor, even though I like Balor, Styles, and Morgan together right now, but makes too much sense to have Judgment Day win right now.
I have a few things about this. I think Balor, Morgan, and AJ being together does the absolute most for Liv Morgan.
Oh, definitely.
When they throw it up, AJ and Finn, and then Morgan stretches up to do it too, you genuinely see enjoyment and excitement on her face.
Yeah, she's happy to be there.
To me, that's awesome. That means, it's, when you love
Getting
what
the
you do, exactly. Liv Morgan getting the rub, all right. But she's getting the rub for sure. I like it. It's also crazy that you're going to have Edge, Finn Balor, and AJ Styles in the same match.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it.
That talent right there,
I think that's awesome. It's honestly coming from 3 different eras, really. If you think about it, you got Edge, who started, in the Attitude Era. Then you have Styles, who, started in the early 2000s, but he was a TNA guy. And then you had Finn Balor, who, was in New Japan and Bullet Club and all. So you got 3 different guys that were in totally different directions in their career. So it'll be a good match.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. And we're both going with Judgment Day.
Yes. Then we got the U.S. title match, Theory and Mustafa Ali. I just don't. If you have Ali lose, what was the point of bringing him back? But I don't get it. They had him lose on Monday to Theory. They had an impromptu U.S. title match.
I caught a little bit of that.
So I don't see them taking the title off of Theory, but I don't see them having Ali lose again. So, you know what? I'm going to say this ends in DQ. I think they go the lame route and have it end in DQ. And have it just continue to go. Because I don't know, you can't take the title off of Theory already. That means Vince has given up on him. Or not given up on him, but taking a step back on him.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go with Theory for that reason. I was leaning toward Ali, but then when you were saying what was the point of Vince bringing him back? Mm-hmm. To fuck with him, pal, because that's what Vince does.
Maybe.
Listen, if you're not happy, you don't have to be here. But then there's I'm not happy and I'm going to bitch about it on Twitter or on social media.
Right.
And I'm not taking sides, but I'm just going with how I think the old man works. And listen, he's been on TV with Theory since Survivor Series. Survivor Series, I was sitting in the Barclays Center waiting, praying for The Rock to come out for his anniversary. And then you have Theory and Vince with the whole egg. Oh, pal, The Rock gave me this egg. But then it's
when I watched that, I couldn't even believe it. I was just like, what? Really? What is this? What did we enter? Is this Disney now? What is this?
I was very upset with that, but it's now June. It's June 2nd. And Vince has been with this kid for what? 8 months now, almost?
Put him in a high-profile match, Mania with McAfee, and Stone Cold came out, and Vince had his whole ordeal. So he sees something in him, and I see something in him too. So I just don't see. I'm going to go with DQ. DQ.
I like your DQ. I'm huge on Austin Theory. Even
I
when
love
he
Austin
was
Theory.
in NXT, even
Yes.
even when he had that short stint with Rollins, I'm like, this is our generation Randy Orton in my mind. You know, young talent that he has the athleticism, he has the charisma, he could probably do it all. So to me, ever since I've always been big on Theory, and I could see him losing the title just so like Vince could be like, I thought I believed in you. And then like maybe it could like lead to him winning it back.
Maybe.
But you know what? But for his first defense on pay-per-view to lose it, I don't think that's gonna happen. So
no,
I'm gonna go with Theory.
They'll take the easy way out and go for DQ or something like that.
Yeah.
For the next match, we got Kevin Owens and Ezekiel. Kevin Owens continues to make this entertaining, and honestly, him and Sami Zayn would probably be the only people to make this entertaining. So, props to Kevin Owens. Ezekiel's gonna win. That's what I'm gonna say.
Without a doubt.
Ezekiel is winning. I part of me can't believe that Kevin Owens went from main eventing WrestleMania with Stone Cold to this, but here we are. But I have Ezekiel winning.
I was thinking the same thing with you, that only Sammy and only KO could really get this over the way it is. Even with Chad Gable, like
he's the only one that could get that over. Yep.
Yeah, like stuff like that I like, and I agree with you. Do you think maybe it's because there's one champion now that this is the reason why Owens is in this sort of program as to what just happened with Austin?
I think so. Yeah, I would go with that. But even like, I was just shocked. Even the night after WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw, when Owens was in the ring cutting promo, and then Ezekiel walked out, and I was like, Owens just like, you couldn't give him anything better. But hey, it's entertaining me. I'm entertained by it. He got it over. So
I love it.
At first I was like, what the heck are they doing? But I like it now.
And you know what you could do? And I kind of don't want to say this because it's going to get stolen. But when Elias does come back and he grows his beard, all he has to say is, now you can all tell me what WWE stands for, and that is, where was Elias? Boom.
There we go.
Throw it on a shirt.
Vince is gonna steal it now. That's it. Vince has got, yep, that's it. Vince gonna steal that one. Okay, now we got, let's see, let's move on. Bobby Lashley and versus Omos and MVP. I could genuinely care less. I don't care.
There's
Bobby
no
Lashley,
winners.
Yeah,
there's no winners in this match. It's just the losers, and it's us.
Yeah, I don't really care about this match. Lashley is a big star, but I just don't know where they're going with Omos. I really don't care. I'll just go with Omos and MVP in this one because I know Lashley. I think Lashley won the last one, right? Didn't he win at Mania? I don't know. I don't really care about this. So I'll go with Omos and MVP because I think that's where Vince probably would decide on.
You know, I wrote Lashley down, but then I feel like it could go either way. It's a handicap match, so it's I gotta just post this real quick. Thank you, Ladarius. It's my wife's not a wrestling fan, and when I do the Vince impression, she gets a kick out of it. I mean, it definitely kills my throat after because I have to, hydrate with some water, but it's worth it.
Hydrate with some water, pal.
Yeah. God damn it, pal.
Damn it, pal.
With Omos and Lashley, I just wrote Lashley down, and then I was thinking maybe MVPs in the match to be pinned or to do the pinning, because here's my thing.
I think they put the MVP in the match so people would care. That's what I think. I guess it is. I guess it is better than having another singles match with Lashley and Omos. So I guess I don't know. I don't know. I just don't care. I don't. I don't really care who wins.
I don't want to spend much time on this. I don't care either.
I'm
gonna go with Lashley. I'm gonna go with Lashley.
All right. It could go either way.
It really could. It's, to me, Lashley needs to. I feel like Omos needs to win more, but like, if Lashley wins, then he's 2-0, and then the feud's over. If Omos wins, then they're 1-1. Then we have to see this again.
We're gonna see it again, no matter if we like it or not.
It's terrible.
All
right. Yeah, I'm going with Lashley.
We'll move on. Hey, we got 2 more left here. This one is one of the ones I'm looking forward to. The Raw Women's Championship: Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch versus Asuka. Triple threat. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a really good match. I think. I don't know if it's not gonna be better than Cody and Seth. Cody and Seth are gonna steal the show, but this is definitely gonna be. This is gonna be probably the second best match of the night. Belair's not losing this.
No.
I don't see it. There's no way they would just put the belt right back on Becky, and I don't see Asuka winning either. So
Becky doesn't need the belt.
No, not right now. She just lost it. I don't think she needs it.
Becky is getting more promo time than the actual Raw Women's Champion. Becky's always going to be a focal point of Monday Night Raw all the time, and
I think,
she doesn't need the belt, which is why they took it off her, because she doesn't need it. It's better for it to be on Bianca, and I agree with you. I'm going with Bianca. Once I first heard this match, I'm like, throw this motherfucker in the cell. I want to see these three in the Hell in a Cell. But then I was like conflicted, because then it went against what I said last week. How just because it's a gimmick name pay-per-view doesn't mean you have to have every title match.
That's how I feel.
In the cell.
I hated when they did that. Hated it.
I was, I have my Hell in a Cell shirt on. It was a Toys R Us exclusive Funko Pop shirt with Mankind and The Undertaker.
There we go.
This is Hell in a Cell. Right. This is when Hell in a Cell was a thing. The first one with Michaels and Undertaker, there was almost a year-long build, it felt like, leading up to it as to why this belongs in the Hell in a Cell. Not just because, God damn it, pal, it's October. Throw him in the cell. It's like, no. Now it's in June, and now I wanted the Raw Women's Championship inside the Hell in a Cell because I felt, in a way, the story could work with it. In a way.
Personally, I don't like seeing the Hell in a Cell twice in one night. I just don't.
Same.
I don't like seeing it twice in one night, because would you have had, like you bring up Taker and Mankind, would you have had another Hell in a Cell match on that pay-per-view with King in the Ring in '98?
You couldn't.
It would have. It would have taken away from what Taker and Mankind did. So
I agree.
It makes no sense. It doesn't make it. You give it to the feud that makes sense. This feud with Belair and Lynch and Asuka was just thrown together. It really has no meaning behind it. It's going to be a great match, but it doesn't have too much of a meaning behind it.
It has no, I guess, real meaning because, of what happened with Naomi and Sasha walking out. But I felt like Becky made it work on Monday when You know, when she cut her promo and she was saying how, you know, how she had to give up the title to Asuka. That she's not underestimating Asuka because, you know, she won the Money in the Bank. And, like, you know, she gave her the title. And Becky's like, that's my fault for thinking Asuka could just get things handed to her. I thought that was a fantastic line. Then Asuka came out. Then Bianca came out. And then it was like, it works for the Hell in a Cell. But after hearing the Rollins and Cody promo and the aftermath of that, that is the only match that belongs inside Hell in a Cell. I'm actually even happy that Roman's not even on the card because they would have been forced to put him in a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, he didn't have to be on this card. I think Cody and Seth being the main event is enough. I don't think Roman needed to be on this card, but I guess we can move into it. We got Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, the main event, Hell in a Cell. Part of the, you know, the first two matches, Cody won, so we're on to number 3. It's going to be the blow-off of the feud. I think I got Cody winning. I have Cody winning.
I'm with you. I have Cody going full Batista, going 3-0 on Rollins, and maybe this propels Cody into winning the Money in the Bank because it's almost like I feel that it's like a Warlord MJF thing. It's like, where do they both go from here? You know, Cody wins. And to me, Cody winning ends the feud, and they're already 3, and you know, it's already the 3rd match. This has been going on since Mania. Listen, they could go for the rest of the year. They could cut promos. It's to me because it's not boring. You know, how many times have we seen the same match over and over and over and over again on Raw or even on some pay-per-views? You're like, oh wow, them again with another stupid. They've done this perfectly. I feel perfectly. I don't think an outside guy has ever come in after being one of the top guys from an outside company, has ever come in and became a huge main star or kept that star power right away. Jericho came, he was like, you know, like when Goldberg came, like when Jericho first debuted, it wasn't hot right away. Yes, he interrupted The Rock, but then, you know, it fizzled
took him a
afterwards. It did take him a while. You know, Cody, even though he was a former WWE guy, he was the main person who got AEW off the ground.
He's basically the reason it's even a thing.
Yeah, so it's, you know, and I know Vince is not worried about competition.
No, he's not worried.
He's and if you don't agree with that, then just look at everybody he released for the competition.
Right.
So for Cody to be this hot, the pyros, he gets his own music still. Everything that he built outside when he left WWE, they let him bring that back. He beats Rollins at Hell in a Cell, and to me, I think it's going to be the best Hell in a Cell match that there was.
I don't know about ever was, but I think it'll be the best one I've seen in a while. I'm hoping. I think they'll pull it off.
I think the best one was Edge and Rollins in Saudi.
That was great. So that was probably the last good one I've seen. That was probably the last one they had. So
I think it was.
That was really good. But I think they'll top it.
I think so for sure. I think it will definitely top it. And where does Cody go from here? Like, who does he feud with next?
I have a hot take.
Okay.
Got another hot take. Start with the hot takes tonight. I think Bray Wyatt shows up. I think he comes back. He's been teasing it all for days on Twitter. He's going to do something. He's going to return. I don't know if it's for AEW. I don't know if it's for WWE, but I think it makes too much sense.
I
I could
think,
see that being Cody's next opponent.
and that would be funny and ironic
Mm-hmm.
because I feel that in Hell in a Cell is when Bray Wyatt's career died as the Fiend.
Hell, it was murdered.
And for it to be resurrected in Hell in a Cell again if he comes back,
So I'm thinking.
I, dude, just you're getting me a little excited now because I'm just picturing the Firefly Funhouse.
Oh no! I want old Bray Wyatt.
Oh, you don't want the Fiend?
No, I don't. I don't know. I want old Bray Wyatt.
Follow like
Yep,
Lantern.
yep. That's who I want. I liked the Fiend in the beginning, but towards the end, I just thought it was ridiculous.
I liked the Fiend after we realized what it was. Like when Bray was just doing those random Firefly Funhouse with no explanation, he was like, "Goodbye." It was like, okay. I was like, where is this going?
I remember when I first saw the first one, and I just remember going. We went to commercial after, and I just remember saying to myself, "Okay, Vince has lost his mind."
Yeah.
That's the first thing I said. I said, "Oh my god, it's it. He's officially lost his mind." But then it got better after that. But then, like we said, the Hell in a Cell match with Rollins. After that, I hated it.
And you want to know why that happened? That terrible Hell in a Cell match that ended in a disqualification.
Oh, it was so bad.
It's because their
Terrible.
feud, Rollins and Fiend, their feud trickled into the month of October. And Vince was like, "God damn it, pal, get the cell down." It's like, no, we don't need it. Stop doing this.
Yeah.
Stop it. Listen, Royal Rumble, January, WrestleMania, April, SummerSlam. Well, it's now in July, but SummerSlam in the summer and Survivor Series in November. Those are the only gimmick pay-per-views you need to keep, and that's the only way it should be. Stop with this TLC money. I was on the fence about Money in the Bank, but I'm over it now. I mean, I think
I like that pay-per-view. I think it should be its own pay-per-view.
it should be. And the two ladder matches for the men and the women is understandable. I get that. But it's just enough with the gimmick months and the gimmick pay-per-views because it ruins things. And if the Fiend does come back, if Bray Wyatt does come back, I would want to see the Fiend. Because all you have to do
if they do it right.
All you have to do is give me. We have a few comments from Ladarius. I don't want him to think we're not seeing them. But even Ladarius is saying, give me Rhodes here. And I think that after Cody wins, that his next road is going to lead to Bray Wyatt.
I hope
only
so.
Only because you said it. Because to me, who else is it? Who else is it? Owens? Like how is that going to work? How's that going to work? Because
that could be another one because they're him and Rollins are friends and stuff like that, so that could work.
Right. So then you're telling me that Owens is going to lose at Mania. He's going to lose at.
Well, he just signed a contract. He has
Hell in a Cell. Yeah, but I feel like whatever Cody gets into after this, he's going over. I don't see him losing. The next time Cody loses a match where he is pinned, it's going to be when he loses the WWE Championship. I feel. So, like, I don't feel like he can't lose.
Either that or they have him have a first match at Roman and he loses, and then he wins. They have a rematch and he wins the rematch. I can see that happening. Like saying,
Roman,
you were so close, but you lost. But now, okay, we'll give you a rematch.
Usos interference or some shit like that. I could see that. That's the only thing. But when do you do that? Like, how soon?
I think SummerSlam. SummerSlam.
I'm hearing with how the tag titles went, and that build, I honestly thought we were getting Roman and Riddle at Hell in a Cell for the title.
That would have been a good match, but
it would have been a nice filler. A nice filler where Riddle's not going to win, but they'll tease the shit out of it to where you'll be like,
right.
Is he? Especially if you only put one title on the line, and easy Roman could be like, you're not worth both titles. I'll put this Raw belt on the line for you, and you're even lucky I'm doing that.
Right.
Something like that. And it fits the character. It fits Paul Heyman to where it could be, Paul Heyman worked the legality of it, the contract or whatever, but
Paul Heyman working legalities. I don't know if that's smart.
It's definitely not.
Definitely not.
I don't know where Cody goes from here, because we're not getting Roman on the pay-per-view. We're not getting Riddle on the pay-per-view. And I honestly
think we're going to find out that.
With that knee shot that Riddle gave Roman, I'm like, oh shit, we're going to get Roman and Riddle at Hell in a Cell. And then, Roman takes off Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
And then at SummerSlam, we get Orton and Roman. Because that's a big match, I feel. I just don't know.
Orton's out now with an injury, so I don't know when's he come back. I have no idea.
Is that a legit injury? Like, is it his back or?
It's someone who's back. I think it's legit. I don't know if it's storyline.
That's
upsetting. I haven't heard that it is.
I mean, I'm not in love with the Nakamura Riddle
it's all right.
Tag team. I feel like it's just another two guys thrown together. But it makes sense in a way to where they're both the bloodline hurt both their partners. So like they came together to avenge them and take the tag titles. Right. But then it's like
makes sense.
Yankees won. Good. They swept that doubleheader today.
There we go.
It makes sense for sure, but I like it though. I like when you don't know where things are going.
Me too.
But one thing that I do know where it's going is that Ladarius is also going to be skipping the Bobby Lashley Omos MVP match.
Fortunately, I can't.
And Ladarius also agrees with you, Sal, that he can't see Theory losing the championship, but it could end in a DQ. Be interesting.
It'd be interesting, but I'd like to see a good match between them. I hope the GQ doesn't just happen quick. I hope it leads up to it.
Yeah, for sure. I think that would be give Ali a couple of near falls. You have
make
Theory
a good match.
Trying to cheat to win, and then take it from there. But it's definitely I mean, I think we both could agree looking at it. I'm going to take a guess that the top 3 out of the 6 matches that we're looking forward to, I would say in this order, Cody and Seth. I want to put Judgment Day. I'm going to call them the Club. I'm going to put the Judgment Day and the Club as the second most anticipated match because
they would be my third. I put that at 3 and then the Raw Women's Championship at 2.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
I know the women are going to tear it down. I'm putting Judgment Day as 2 because it's like, does Ciampa join? Do the Viking Raiders join? Does someone who's floundering that could be saved by joining Edge's group join?
Does Finn join?
I don't want him to join.
Me either.
He's not a background guy. If he founded the Bullet Club, if anything, he's the leader of a group, or it's like he's with like AJ to where they're both on the same level. I don't think that we need Finn to be another background guy.
No, he couldn't be a background guy. I mean, unless you want 2 leaders and then eventually have Finn and Edge have a match later. They, have disagreements and then they split up. I don't know. It's too much, too chaotic, but we'll see.
Which is why I feel like this group You have Damian Priest in there who you're building. The exposure alone with being with Edge is great. And, the same thing with Rhea, who was floundering in that hopeless women's division in WWE. She's there now in a main role, and I feel like they're going to maybe give Rhea like the China treatment to where they're going to let her get physical with the guys in a way where like how China did. I mean, listen, Rhea, she could do it. She has that look. She looks intimidating. And, even getting an AJ Styles face, I think she might have been taller. She's like, okay, get out of here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need you, which I like.
No, she's a star.
She's definitely a star for sure. And, it's definitely interesting, the outcome of what's going to happen at Hell in a Cell, because I feel like it's going to set the table for Money in the Bank and then SummerSlam. Because we're getting to that time where I feel that WWE usually turns it up in the summer. They get a little crazy. So I'm looking forward to it. Match of the night is definitely going to be Cody and Seth.
It should
Hell
be.
in a Cell. It's going to be a banger. And I just don't know where they go from here. And I think maybe that's the best part, is not knowing. Because so many times, I'm on Twitter, I'm reading the dirt sheets, WrestleZone, no DQ, Sean, what's his last name?
Sean Rossap.
Yes. I follow him. Yeah, I follow him. He's great to follow. He's very informative. But
he's the Jeff Passan of wrestling. That's what I like to call him.
That's great. I like that. That's good. I don't know where this is going to go. And I'm hoping that, with these accounts that I follow, that I try not to like click into it to see like, oh, who's returning. I like being surprised. So it could go so many different ways, but seeing Cody win, I think, is a no doubter. 3-0. And maybe you're right, Sal. Maybe, in July, Cody and Roman, which would be...
Makes sense. Unless they want to stretch it out even further and go to Mania next year. But I have a pretty good idea of what that match will be for Roman. If we all do.
Listen. Intervention time.
Good segue.
I am a huge Rock fan. I love The Rock. He is my all-time favorite. Deadly Games, WrestleMania 15, The Nation, everything. Everything back then that caught me onto him. It kept me there. He's literally electrifying. I was hoping for him at SummerSlam. I'm sorry, Survivor Series. It was his anniversary in the same city that he debuted. I'm like, oh shit, he's going to be there. I got $400 seats, which I am not. I know. I even ordered a stupid chair off Ticketmaster, which took a long time to get. And then only for, not knocking him,
an egg.
Only for a Big E to be on it. So like I wasn't. Oh no, I'm sorry. The egg you're talking about. I ordered a pay-per-view chair, like the actual like ringside commemorative chairs that you take home.
Right.
I didn't have ringside seats, so you were able to order the chair off Ticketmaster, and I did that rather than haggling someone on the street, then throwing in the boys' car. So I'm like, let me just order it. I'm thinking, Survivor Series is always Raw and SmackDown. It's going to be a 6-chair, or maybe The Rock is just on it, and then it was Big E. Not knocking Big E, but I wouldn't have went through the trouble to get the chair if I knew that. So, like, The Rock has been teasing me so long since WrestleMania 29. That's the last. To me, that's his last match. WrestleMania 29 versus John Cena. That bullshit at WrestleMania 32.
Yeah, he had like
So
a 6 minute. He rock bottomed Rowan.
he like lit his name on fire, give a rock bottom to Redbeard. 1, 2, 3. That is not a match. I saw The Rock's last WrestleMania match.
So did I.
Put down.
I was there.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
29. I was there.
Were you at 35 too, or just 29?
I was. I was
That's
at
crazy. I didn't
35
realize
too, and froze to death.
Yeah, me too. That was a really cold, rainy, wet, long night.
Longest wrestling show in history I was at. So, yeah.
That was wild. Thank God I didn't drive that day. But my intervention is for you, Dwayne Johnson. Stop this bullshit of teasing us, with your Young Rock show, dropping hints of Roman and you facing off the two big Samoans. Give it to me already. I'm waiting for it. I want it. I thought we were going to get it so many times. COVID fucked up the timeline of when Mania was supposed to be in Cali. It was supposed to be this past year. So now that it's in Cali next year, the stars are aligned. I read that he has no movies, no projects for the first quarter. Give me Roman and The Rock.
I think it's
with the belts. With the belts. I don't want to hear that this feud doesn't need the belt. It needs the belt. It needs the belt because you can't be head
He's not
going to
have one of them. He's not going to have one of them. That WWE Championship is going to Cody at some point, and I think it's going to be at SummerSlam. He'll have one of them.
Is it a Money in the Bank cash in?
I don't want Cody to win that. I don't want to see a cash in. I want to see a good match. I want to see a story.
Nice build, yeah.
A nice build. I don't want to see, Cody's running down.
And you know what? To put a pause and to wrap up the intervention real quick, Rock, just come back. Come on. Enough of this. Enough with teasing us. Stop teasing the fans. Give us what we want. Come back. And even though I'm a fan of The Rock, he will come back and he will acknowledge Roman Reigns as the head of the table and the tribal chief. But that's for WrestleMania. Back to what you were saying about Cody winning the belt at SummerSlam. I do want a story. I don't want a cash in because Rhodes family and the Ione family, I feel like is a storyline right there. Cody could be like, "Oh, you're the head of the table." Even Cody's, his opening before his music hits. There's more than one royal family in wrestling. Obviously, he was talking about the McMahons, but now that works perfectly for the Roman storyline. If you ask me, like, oh, you're doing this for your family, so am I. And Cody could get really passionate about it. And then you have Cody, with the mic, and you have Heyman with the mic, and you have Roman with the mic. I feel like that's going to be, you know what? Hell, get Dustin out of AEW, bring his ass back, and let's make it a family versus family thing. Why not?
No, I leave Cody to just Cody. I think that was a problem in AEW. I think he had a whole entourage, and it was just like, why? All you need is yourself. Like, you don't need Brandy, you don't need Dustin, you don't need Arn. Like, you're Cody Rhodes. Just be Cody Rhodes. Like, don't bring all these people in.
Bring out Pharaoh.
Who?
Isn't that his dog's name? What's his dog's name?
Oh, his dog. Yeah, Pharaoh.
Oh, okay. I was like, shit.
Bring in him. Yeah, why not?
But that was my intervention, is that just bring The Rock back. I don't know if yours was SummerSlam. That, and these interventions are for the WWE. And
it can be. Roman, Cody, SummerSlam. Do it.
I apologize for calling out The Rock. I didn't mean that. Maybe I need an intervention, but
he'll give you one.
He'll give me a rock bottom probably.
Yeah.
I think we covered everything.
Yeah, we got it all.
We did. I am going to try. Can't make any promises. It's my father-in-law's 60th birthday. I'm going to try and go live after Hell in a Cell, just to do a little like recap. I don't know if you're doing one for Wrestling Inc., but I know you're going to be live tweeting, right?
I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing coverage on Sunday. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I know on Saturday night I will be doing, regrettably, I will be doing coverage of NXT in your house. So that'll be my Saturday night at 8 o'clock. So I'll be doing that. If anybody wants to join on the NXT fun.
You know what's funny? I didn't even realize. I didn't realize that NXT was on Saturday.
No, it's just it's a premiere event. They're doing one of their like how they used to have the takeover.
Yeah,
the NXT takeover. It's basically like that.
That's unfortunate.
It's not called takeover anymore.
Yeah, because they got to change everything.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you'll see us live. Maybe you won't, but you definitely can find Sal live tweeting the show over at Wrestling Inc. on Twitter. And I think that's everything that we have for today.
That's it.
Yeah. So
shout out to MJF. Best guy in wrestling right now.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say.
MJF, shout out to you, and I want to give a shout out to Ladarius for always
shout out to him too.
Always being interactive with us on the show via YouTube. And I want to give a shout out to TJ for telling us to play it and get dangerous, because that's what the Rangers will be doing in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And hopefully they go up 2-0. And no matter what, no matter if they win, no matter if they lose, you can always catch the Scoreboard Addicts doing their live reactions to the games. Make sure you tune into that. And I think that's all we have for tonight. We ran a little long, but there was a lot to talk about. And
there's a lot to talk about.
You know, we do it a little, a little all over the place, but that's wrestling, baby. It's all over the place. And hopefully you all enjoyed the show, and we hope to see you all next time.